Hello ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to this video, a very warm welcome to another video of mine. Well, today I'm gonna talk about the planets Saturn and Jupiter. You know, Saturn is gonna aspect Jupiter from the 12th of July 2022 until 17th of January 2023. You know, the world could see recession and stagflation during this time. I'm gonna tell y'all in this video what can be the effects of Saturn aspecting the planet Jupiter from 12th of July 2022 until 17th of January 2023. In regard to the economic activity in the world, recession and stagflation. You know, Jupiter is all about wealth, richness, money, economic activities. And Saturn is all about hard work, discipline, perseverance. And yes, it is a malefic planet. So at this juncture, Saturn will be aspecting the planet Jupiter, and hence it is gonna affect the planet Jupiter. I mean, it is gonna affect the wealth, money, business of this world. You know, Jupiter is an auspicious planet and it represents your business, economic activities, wealth, and everything auspicious in this world. So Saturn aspecting the planet Jupiter will not be a good aspect on the planet Jupiter. It is gonna slow down things in the world as well as your personal life. I mean the economic activity in this world. The world could see a recession during this time. People will try to cut down on their expenses at this point in time. Discretionary spending of the companies as well as of people will reduce considerably. The world could see a peak of its recession during this time. But the recession would not be as severe as it was seen last time. I mean between 2008 and 2009. Because Saturn will be in its own sign in the Capricorn sign and Jupiter will be in its own sign in its Pisces sign. Hence the effect of Saturn aspecting the planet Jupiter will not be harsh. Yes, a recession, a stagflation cannot be ruled out during this time. Well, for people who don't understand what is stagflation, I wanna explain this to y'all. Stagflation is that time when the economic growth reduces substantially in the world. Economic activity reduces to a very large extent. But at the same time, inflation and high prices persist. So during this time when the planet Saturn aspects Jupiter, let me tell you that the economic activities of countries all over the world will reduce substantially. You know, seeing things from the perspective of India's horoscope, I want to tell you all that Saturn will be in the 9th house of the India's horoscope and Jupiter will be in the 11th house. The planet Rahu, the north lunar node, will be in the 12th house. Hence, Rahu being in the 12th house, the north lunar node being in the 12th house indicates that the recession would hit the Western countries more because Rahu represents the Western countries, the foreign countries. Simultaneously, India wouldn't be experiencing that kind of recession, that kind of stagflation, which the world would be seeing at this point in time. I mean, the foreign countries would be seeing at this point in time. A recession in the US, UK, Europe cannot be ruled out at this point in time. I mean, the Western countries. And let me tell you that the recession, the stagflation wouldn't be as severe as we had seen in the past. I mean in the 1970s, when the economic activities in several countries dropped to a very large extent, but the inflation and high prices persisted. The United States of America wouldn't be hit by this recession as it had got hit in the year 2008. You know, very recently the oil hit a price of $125 a barrel and it fell from there. But oil could once again see a price of $120 during this time when Saturn aspects the planet Jupiter. You know, I have told you all this several times before. Whenever a planet goes retrograde, it increases its power by 3 times. Hence, Saturn will increase its power by 3 times. and the malefic aspect of the planet Saturn will be 3 times more powerful on the planet Jupiter during this time. But the important thing to note here is that on the 29th of July 2022, the planet Jupiter will also go retrograde. And Jupiter is an auspicious planet. Hence, Jupiter's retrogradation is going to reduce the Saturn's aspect on Jupiter. I mean the malefic aspect of Saturn on the planet Jupiter at this point in time. Well, once Saturn becomes direct, I mean in the Capricorn sign, then the fears of recession can come down significantly. And Saturn becomes direct on the 23rd of October 2022. But speaking in totality, I want to tell you all that when Saturn aspects Jupiter, the fears of recession, inflation, stagflation cannot be ruled out. So the economic activities in all the countries of this world would be pretty low at this point in time. Some of the countries would be hit by recession. Interest rate hikes is a certainty at this point in time. I cannot rule out interest rate hikes during this time. Government and the people of countries are gonna cut down on their discretionary spending at this point in time. Household expenditures will be at its peak during this time. I mean because of the inflation. However, Saturn going in the Capricorn sign might reduce the commodity prices at this point in time. Saturn going in the Capricorn sign might not harm India as much as the world is perceiving at this point in time. India at this point in time will be in a better situation than most of the countries of this world. I mean when Saturn enters the 9th house of the India's horoscope. But the spillover effect of the Western countries of recession, inflation and stagflation on India cannot be ruled out at this point in time. India might help some of the countries at this point in time. The economy of India would generally be robust at this point in time because Saturn being in the 9th house of India's horoscope as well as the planet Jupiter being in the 11th house in its own sign, in its Pisces sign, will keep India's economy strong. The worst hit countries due to recession would be Russia, Europe, UK and to a certain extent the US. The US probably wouldn't be seeing too much impact from this recession, this inflation. I mean from the 12th of July 2022 until 17th of January 2023. But in spite of the economic activity remaining low in several countries, the inflation and high prices would persist. I mean the stagflation would persist during this time. I don't see oil prices falling below $86 a barrel in the next 2 months at least. You know, the planet Venus at this point in time, I mean from the 24th of September 2022 until 18th of October 2022, it would get debilitated. I mean, it would become weak at this point in time. Hence, people will not be spending too much on their luxury, their travel, their luxury travel at this point in time. People would try to cut down on their expenses at this point in time. And the economic activity during this time would remain low. Well, the good news is that after 17th of January 2023, when once Saturn goes into the Aquarius sign and its aspect on Jupiter finishes, then the things are gonna improve on the recession front. And gradually, as the planet Saturn is a very slow planet, hence you would see a gradual recovery in the world. Well, this is all I wanted to tell you all about Saturn's aspect on Jupiter in regard to recession and stagflation. I'm quite certain that after 17th of January 2023, things will start to improve in this world in regard to recession and stagflation. But the recovery would be a very gradual recovery, not a fast-paced one. Well, here I want to end this video. Jai Mata Di, Jai Ma Kali.